So you see this all the time right now. People are selling $27, $7, even $3 products through paid ads, which brings up the question, like, how the are these people even making any money? I mean, really, if we just do the math, you're paying like $4 to get someone to click on an ad. How are they making money selling a $6 product? What is the equation here that is making people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on these types of funnels? So the answer here is a self-liquidating offer, also called a low ticket offer. And this is how people get really rich selling really cheap products. So what I'm actually gonna do in this video right here is I'm gonna break down what is a self-liquidating offer, how does it work, and how can you use one to make a ton of money if you are selling courses, coaching products, high ticket programs, and those types of products. We actually used this funnel at my agency to sell nearly $1 million of a book that costs less than $20 to buy. And we're launching more and more of these funnels every single day with my clients right now. These low ticket offers have been around for a really long time, but because of the rising ad costs, because of what's going on with iOS 14 and privacy updates there, and then just generally the amount of competition that there is online, these funnels are getting more and more popular. So now is a really good time to get up to speed on what these funnels are, how these funnels work, and how you can use one of these funnels to grow your business. I actually remember when I first got introduced to this type of funnel working with a client, and I just didn't quite understand how we could make money selling a $5 book using a funnel like this. So I really had to dig in, and I actually ended up hiring a couple of mentors who showed me how to grow a business with this type of funnel. And once that light bulb went off and I learned what I'm going to show you in this video right here, it really made me understand how you can really grow a business because you can make these funnels really profitable. Now, the goal here is to figure out how I can spend money today and make that money back by the end of today. Because if I can spend $2,000 today, but I make $2,000 in sales today, what I've got is I've got new customers, I've got people who are consuming my content, and I haven't really lost any money out of my bank account because I had $2,000 go out and I had $2,000 come back in on the same day. And so tomorrow when I go to spend another $2,000, I'm not stressed because I'm not worried about the lag time of how long it takes for someone to become a customer. Like some of these other types of funnels we've talked about this channel, like VSL sales calls funnels and webinar funnels and all of that stuff. So let's dive in and let me show you how you can make these types of funnels really profitable using something I call economics engineering. So you see this every day online right now. You've got people who are selling these offers that cost anywhere from like $3, $7, $5, $27, maybe $49. And the question, right, that we're trying to answer is like, how do you sell that $27 thing and actually make money, especially when you're paying $4 to get someone to click on your ads? And this is just an example from one of my mentors. So this is Mike Shreves. He sells a book, and I believe right now he sells this for $4.95. And so this is one of the ads that he runs on Facebook. It's just an ad for a book, and it costs $4.95. And if you click on that ad, it's going to take you to a sales page where you can buy this book for $4.95. And so the key formula that makes all of this work that we're going to talk about is CPA is less than your AOV, meaning your cost to acquire a customer, your CPA, has to be lower than your average order value in this funnel. And this is what I mean by it comes down to like an economics thing. So your CPA is really easy to calculate, your cost to acquire a customer. When you run ads online, you are going to pay for clicks, and a certain percentage of those people are going to buy. And so if you're paying $4 to get someone to click on an ad, and 7% of those people that click on an ad actually end up buying, what's going to end up happening is your cost to acquire that customer is going to be $55. This is just basic math. Now, if your cost to acquire that customer is $55, what we need to do is make sure that your average order value, meaning the total amount that someone spends as they go through the funnel, which we're going to talk about here in a second, needs to be greater than that. Because if you make an AOV of $65 on average, and you're spending $55 to acquire a customer, your net is $10 every time you acquire a customer. These are just some like really rounded out numbers, but what I'm trying to show you here is like, this is the equation that we want to balance out as we're going through this on a day-to-day basis. We're trying to make sure that our CPA is lower than our AOV so that we're net positive every time someone becomes a customer with us. Now, the way that we get that AOV up, our average order value, the amount that someone on average spends with us every time they go through this funnel, let's break down a different mentor of mine's and their funnel that they used for a book, right? This is Justin Brooks' funnel. He used to run this a lot. It was a book called Retargeting Recipes, and you could buy this book for $6.95. So if you got to the sales page and you decided you wanted to buy this book, it would cost you $6.95. Now, again, the question we're answering is like, how do we actually make money selling a $6.95 book? But the thing is, as you go through this funnel, when you get to the order form, what you will notice is all of these funnels have these order bumps. And order bumps are probably one of the simplest things that a lot of companies do not have on their low ticket offers that are just a really easy way to increase this average order value. So Justin's offer is really in alignment with what he's selling. He's selling a book. And if you want for $10, you can get the order bump. You can get the Retargeting Recipes audiobook so that you can listen to this book as you want to consume it. Now, right away, if someone takes that order bump, we have gone from spending $6.95 to spending $16.95. So what you can see here is like the total order value has just doubled by having someone just decide that they want the audiobook. And I can tell you, I've looked at a lot of low ticket offer funnels that do not have these order bumps, but people will take these order bumps at a really high rate if they are really congruent with the front end offer. So we've got funnels where people are taking these order bumps with anywhere from like 35 to as high as 50% right now, because that order bump is really in alignment with the thing that we are selling on the front end. And again, what we're trying to do here is figure out how to bump that average order value every time someone goes through this funnel. Now, the very next page, if you've been online for any period of time, you have seen these, right? These are called upsells. So when someone finishes their checkout, when they're going to get to the next page. And this is another opportunity to add something to the cart. It's kind of like when you go to the grocery store and you are checking out, they have all that stuff on the aisle right there. So you can add it to your cart right before you actually go finish paying. This is the exact same thing, but it's that version online. So when someone gets to this upsell, this is also a very congruent offer that someone can just add to their cart. Someone has just bought a book about how to do retargeting online and different strategies they can use there. They might have added the audiobook so that they can just listen to this book to consume it. And now what they're offering them is some courses. So how you can actually run Facebook and YouTube ads. Assuming if you're into retargeting, you're probably into running ads. And so you can actually just add these to your cart so that you can just get Justin's courses on how to run these ads. Now, if you took this offer, the total cart value is now $265.95. So you can see how we very quickly just went from selling a $6 book on the front end to now someone has the potential to spend $265. Now, you can accept that or you can decline that. It really doesn't matter. Either way, you're going to get to the thank you page where it gives you the opportunity to download the stuff that you have. It also even gives you an opportunity to take a further training from Justin. So you can attend one of his free web classes. This is a strategy that I see some people do, but not all the time, where you can just move people to like a webinar or a training at the end of this funnel. The point here is the total potential order value is $265. Now, the reality is the vast majority of people are just going to pay the $695. If you look at all the stats over this funnel, that's what most people are going to do. But a good percentage of those people will take one of these order bumps and upsells. So some people will spend $16.95. And then a few people will just go through the funnel, they'll buy everything, and they will spend $265. This is how we're going to end up with an average order value where someone is on average spending $65 every time they go through this funnel. So this is the key to making these economics work in your favor. You're promoting a small ticket product on the front end, but what you're selling throughout the funnel is a number of different congruent offers. So someone could go from spending $4 to spending $350. Or in this example, someone could go from spending $7 to spending $265. The ideal situation here is if you spend $5,000 on ads in a week, at the end of the week, if you've got $5,001 back in sales, then at least you're breaking even and you've got 142 new customers that are consuming your content, who are going through what they've just bought, who are developing a relationship with you, and who you can then ascend into higher ticket products. And the goal here is we'd be like net zero on ad spend. So again, you spend $5,000 one week, you've made $5,000 back by the end of the week. You probably feel a lot more comfortable going into the next week and spending another $5,000. And the other thing that happens here is we see about 5 to 10% of these people will actually book calls with our sales team. So these are people who want to ascend into our high ticket programs after they've consumed the content. So we're going to talk a little bit more about high ticket programs here in a second. But this is how you could get 10 calls booked just by having this low ticket funnel running. So maybe you haven't made money on the front end here, but you've got new customers, you are building your list with buyers, and you've got people who are booking calls to join your high ticket programs. Now, a really good scenario here is you spend $5,000 in 1 week on ads. At the end of the week, you've made $10,000 in sales. So you're actually profitable on day one. Now you've got 284 new customers who are going through your content, who are on your list, who are consuming what they've bought from you. And what we've seen is like 1 to 2% of those people will move into high ticket programs. And so if you spent $5,000, you made $10,000 back by the end of the week, and then you had 6 people, 2% of those people ascend into your high ticket programs. And let's say your high ticket program is $5K, you've now made $40,000 off of that $5,000 in ad spend. So these are all just super rounded numbers with a really basic funnel. But hopefully what we can see here is like through creating a series of offers that are super aligned with what you're selling on the front end, and then using things things like order bumps and upsells to actually maximize the average order value. What you can end up doing is engineering a situation where what you're watching very closely on a day-to-day basis, or what your media buyer is watching very closely on a daily basis, is they're watching like, what is your cost to acquire a customer each day? And then what your funnel team is working on, or whoever's optimizing that funnel is looking at, is like, what is the AOV of every single person that comes through this funnel? And if you can get to the point to where your AOV is higher than your CPA, you can essentially spend an infinite amount of money to acquire customers. Now, of course, you can't really spend an infinite amount of money, right? Like, these things do break down at certain points. But what we've got is situations where clients are going out, we're spending money, and we're basically net break even or a little better to get new customers into our brand, indoctrinated into what we're doing, consuming our content, and then going through what we've set up and then booking calls with our team to join our high ticket programs on the back end. And again, I'm sure if you've been online for any period of time, you've seen like these funnels can get quite complicated. So people will have multiple order bumps, people will have multiple upsells, people will have multiple downsells, people will have 2 products available on one upsell page. There's a lot of different ways that people can like slice and dice this, but all of that is to look at how you can maximize that average order value. And what I've seen from running quite a few of these funnels is like, it really comes down to how can you create a series of products that are super aligned with the outcome that people are trying to get from that first product, so that you have a lot of congruency in everything that you're selling. And then a lot of people will go through, and the take rates on these order bumps and upsells will be really, really high because you've got a really good offer stack that works really well. Now, there are definitely pros and cons to this funnel. So one of the big pros is like, you can be cash flow positive on day one, which is awesome, right? Like, if you could spend $3,000 every day and make that $3,000 back within 24 hours, but you're growing your list, you're getting customers, you're putting your brand out there, you would probably spend that $3,000 every single day. Another big pro is you're building a list of paying customers. So one of the big challenges that a lot of companies run into right now is you're running ads to a webinar or a lead magnet. You've got all these people signing up, but the reality is nobody consumes your lead magnet and nobody shows up to your webinar. So you're just building this list of freebie seekers, and you're not building a list of people who are really interested in what you're doing. And it's become so easy with a lot of the technology that's out there today that pretty much anybody can set up a landing page and get people to opt in for stuff. But to actually get people to consume stuff, to engage with your brand, to see you as an authority, and then end up buying from you is a whole different story. I talk to companies all the time who actually have all the things set up correctly on the front end. If you went to their website, you'd probably think like, wow, these people are doing really well. They've got a webinar and a lead magnet and all that stuff. And then what they tell me in truth is that none of this stuff actually converts into customers, and they're trying to figure out what to do. So that's one of the big benefits of a funnel like this, is you are getting people to pull out their credit card to join their list, and they're paying to consume your content. And so when people pay, they're typically more bought in, and then they have a better relationship with you. And if the content you give away on the front end is really valuable, they're very likely to want to work with you to ascend into helping them figure out, solve the next step of that problem with whatever other high ticket offers you sell. And another huge benefit to these funnels is if you can get this up and converting, this is an asset that is just generating customers for you 24/7. Again, I talk to a ton of companies who have an issue because they get most of their traffic through organic content. And so as long as the founder or the creator is out there making Instagram videos and doing stories and TikToks and all of that stuff, they've got new traffic coming to their offers. But as soon as they stop making content, all of their traffic goes away. And so if you can get this economics situation worked out correctly, you can run ads, you can get customers every single day. And it's not dependent on how much content you can create, but it's really dependent on like how good of an offer stack can you make, how well can you set up this funnel, and then how well can you run ads. There are some cons to these types of funnels. So as you can see, there are a lot of moving pieces. If you are a brand new beginner at this can be a lot to get set up and get optimized, especially like you even just saw in this example, right? We had the front end offer, we had the order bump, we had the upsell, but a lot of these more complex funnels, we might have multiple order bumps, we might have multiple upsells, we might have downsells. So there's a lot of moving pieces that you have to optimize to make sure that this AOV stays really high. And then getting this to convert to cold traffic is definitely a challenge. I've been on projects where we went through this entire process, built this whole funnel out, and we just could never get it to convert to cold traffic. We spent a bunch of money, it never converted, and it didn't really matter what our order bumps and our upsells and all that stuff was. Nobody was buying the front end product. And so we were spending money, we got some sales, but we were never cash flow positive. So these can be a challenge to get going. I would say the biggest thing that I've seen is a lot of times like the offer makes the biggest difference. So if you're selling one of these, but you've got a really hot offer, it's kind of like with any funnel, right? A really great offer can make up for pretty much anything. And then the last con that I've seen is like, this can be really a full-time job to optimize. So again, that funnel that I told you where we did nearly $1 million in sales on this, we had an entire team that was just optimizing the front end and keeping that CPA down. And we had an entire different team who was optimizing the back end and keeping that AOV up. We had to meet every single week and talk about what tests are you running, what are you seeing working, and all of that stuff. stuff because there were just a lot of moving pieces and we had to really maximize everything we were doing because we were spending thousands of dollars a day on ads. The thing is, if you are trying to grow an online business, your biggest challenge and your biggest responsibility as a business owner is figuring out how you get more customers in the front door. And this is the thing that a lot of people have to take a lot of time to figure out what type of funnel works for you, what type of thing works in your market, what type of offers are going to work for you. But if you can get one of these funnels working, you can get this up and converting to cold traffic. This can be one of the best ways to grow your business. So the big trick that I've seen to make all of this work is that you've got a back end. So I've talked to companies who are doing these low ticket offers and they don't have any type of back end. So they're running on razor thin margins. They're constantly trying to figure out how they can make money with these low ticket offers. And you know what? You could have a day where it's like you spend $1, you get $1.50 back and everybody's super happy. But then you can have a day where you spend $1 and you get 80 cents back and everybody's not happy anymore. And so you're running on these razor thin margins if you don't have a back end. Now, the companies that we run these types of funnels with that have a back end offer where we're selling like a 3, 5, 6, 10K offer on the back end, people are typically really happy because if we make money on the front end, great, that's more money we can put into ads. If we don't make money on the front end and we lose a little bit, that's okay because we know we're going to make it up on the back end. So the back end is really where all this money is made. This is just a really excellent mechanism in order to get new customers in the door. Again, you're getting people to consume your content, you're getting people to pull out their credit card to join your list, and you're getting to build a relationship with them before they're booking a call with you. So hopefully now you have a better understanding of how these types of funnels work. And hopefully you have a better understanding of if this could be the type of funnel that you could use in your business. Again, we've got a few of these that we're building out and we're launching for clients right now, and they're working exceptionally well, but we've got a really experienced team of people who are building all these things out and optimizing them. So they definitely take some work, but when you can get them working, they can be extremely profitable. Now, this is all the funnel side of things, but the thing that also really matters is how you run ads to these types of funnels. And so where we pretty much always start with our funnels, especially when we're launching newer offers, is we start with Facebook ads because Facebook ads gives us the ability to test really quickly. And so I've got a video right over here that's going to show you our launch strategy for how we get Facebook ads up and running. So if you want to see how we actually run ads to this type of funnel, check out this video right here and I'll see you over there.